This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and it's yet another Samsung Galaxy S2. This time, the third time, it's for T-Mobile in the United States. We've already seen the Sprint version that came first, followed by AT&T, and now the T-Mobile version. Verizon's the only one who seems to be left out, but we hear they're planning some kind of cool 4G LTE version of the phone. This has a 4.52-inch display like the Sprint version, and that's bigger than the original Galaxy S2 overseas, and also the AT&T version, both of which have 4.3-inch displays. The resolution is 800 by 480 though, so you're not gaining any more pixels for the larger display, and that means that menus and things like that can look really, really large. It's great if you don't have good vision, but otherwise, well, you see how giant these things are. We'll compare that to the HTC Amaze, which is running with a QHD display, and without Samsung's TouchWiz, which does tend to increase menu size. And you can see the difference in the amount of stuff that you see on screen there and the font size. Unlike the original Galaxy S2 and all the variants so far, this is running on a 1.5 GHz dual-core Snapdragon 3rd generation CPU with the Adreno 220 graphics. That might be a bit of a disappointment compared to the Samsung Exynos CPU that's been used on the other Galaxies, because that's benchmarked faster than any other smartphone CPU so far. We're talking about 30% faster. Most dual-core Tegra 1 GHz phones, for example, benchmark around 2,000, sometimes as high as 22 or 2,400, and the Exynos goes, about 3,300. Wow. Happily, the Snapdragon is no slouch here, though. We've been benchmarking it at about 2736, which is not so far off from the HTC Amaze, which was about 2650, and 80 points doesn't really make that much of a difference. And the Amaze is also running that 1.5 gigahertz CPU, so it certainly is a top performer. In terms of battery life, the Exynos could be a little hard on the battery, though with recent firmware as things have improved. This seems to be running at about the same, which is to say not so bad. The American versions of the Galaxy S2 with the Exynos have been reasonably good performers in terms of battery life, and this one's doing okay as well. It is a big, powerful phone, and that means you're probably going to charge this guy every night with moderate use, but you will at least make it through the day. Let's take a look around. You've got the usual capacitive front buttons here, and I find this to be the most aesthetically pleasing among the Galaxies that we've seen in the US. I like the curved sides here. Got the chrome here, which does show fingerprints. What can you do? And then the back, which is still plastic, but it's got a complex curve to it, some texture, and the little signature hump that we used to see on last generation Galaxies. That's your speaker back here, your 8 megapixel camera that can shoot 1080p videos up here. Headphone jack up top, good place for it. Power button, typical for Samsungs, on the side. Opposing the volume button, so if you squeeze one, you're going to squeeze the other by accident. Be careful of that. There is a mic up here and a mic down here for noise canceling, though we didn't find the noise canceling super duper impressive on this phone. Got your micro USB port back here, and underneath the battery door, which rips off from this little pull tab corner, very thin, light cover, SIM card slot, and your micro SD card slot. A card is not included because the phone has 16 gigs of internal storage, and they figured that's probably plenty enough to get you started, but obviously you can use card in there. The back doesn't have any interesting apparatus on or anything like that, but it is an NFC-capable phone, and in fact there's a setting for NFC, just like with the Amaze, under wireless settings. What can you do with it right now? Not so much. Anything, but in the future, who knows. Now we're comparing it to the Sprint version, which is the Samsung Galaxy S2 Epic 4G Touch, long name there. And difference in wallpaper makes the brightness seem a little bit different, but they're fairly similar. The Sprint version has different mode settings, just like the Galaxy Tab tablets, and you can select standard mode, video mode rather, and vivid mode, whereas the T-Mobile version and the AT&T versions don't have that. And to my eye, I would say it's permanently set to vivid because those colors are super unnaturally zingy. But they're about the same size, and they both have 4.52-inch displays, that's why. Side view, likewise, also very similar. Back view, this one has the rigid hard plastic down here. And now compared to the AT&T version here, they're running on the same wallpaper. Again, this is a little bit zingier because, like I said, I think it's set to be pretty vibrant by default. They're all running at max brightness right now. And the AT&T is a little bit smaller because it has a 4.3-inch display, but honestly, the size difference between these two is not very much. And even in terms of the screen, you can see the screens side by side here. 4.3 versus 4.5, not a huge difference there, but slightly more pocketable. And here's the difference in terms of the back view. I think the T-Mobile version is actually more attractive looking, to be honest, but looks are subjective. Reception on the phone is pretty much average by T-Mobile standards, and this is an HSPA plus 42 meg per second phone, just like the Amaze. It's the two phones right now currently that offer that, or will offer that on October 12th when they're released. And that doesn't mean you're going to get 42 megs down. Obviously, just like with the 14.4 phones, you usually don't get a full 14.4, but on average, we've been seeing about 12, 13 megs down. Now, granted, the network's not too crowded right now, but devices are taking advantage of that, and it probably will bring down network speed some. But so that's certainly a lot faster than T-Mobile's other phones right now in terms of data download speeds. Call quality is very good for outgoing calls. Incoming calls, it's good. It's not fantastic, though. It sounded a little bit muted to me on incoming calls. Volume was okay, but could have had a little bit more clarity. Not terrible, but not the best that I've heard. And you get a big on-screen dialer here. It's certainly very easy to use with quick access to your voicemail right here and the usual Google favorites, contacts, call log kind of thing. And when you're in call, you'll have on-screen buttons to mute your call and so on, transfer to a Bluetooth headset. In terms of software on here, you see we have Netflix preloaded. Yes, Netflix works on all Android phones these days that are running Gingerbread 2.3. And we've got Samsung's Media Hub here for video purchase and rental for movies. T-Mobile TV, we're going to take a look at it in a minute. They actually call this T-Mobile TV HD. It's $13 a month for streaming and on-demand TV content. And you can see we've got AllShare, which is a DLNA application. Asphalt 6 got a demo version of the game included. Bleo is also there. Some T-Mobile stuff. Adobe Flash Player 11 downloaded as soon as we boot up the phone and logged into the Android market. You got Google Books on board as well. The bonus apps is just a selection of apps that T-Mobile has picked that they think are pretty good, and they are generally free apps that you can download. Standard Android apps are here, the YouTube Player, Gallery, of course the WebKit web browser, email, Gmail. Lookout Security is loaded for those of you who are fearing viruses and the like. And in addition to Google Maps and navigation, we have Telenav as well, which is a pay-for service that runs $10 a month for spoken turn-by-turn directions. Polaris Office is included. It's a full version that can both view, edit, and create. MS Office documents, so you can see we can pick from anything that's already on our device, or we can create a new Word document in a variety of formats, a new spreadsheet, new PowerPoint presentation. And if we go for document, you can see what the interface looks like. And there you've got your formatting controls down there, and you just start typing. And obviously if you want to, you could use a Bluetooth keyboard. Also works in portrait and landscape modes both, and it supports Box.net for cloud file storage and transfer. Samsung includes a couple of their usual applications that are pretty good, and also T-Mobile includes quick video chat. You can use Skype with this as well. It works fine. You've got Zinio Reader there as well. For Samsung, we've got their Memo, their Mini Diary, which is a cute little application that you can embed photos in and save GPS coordinates for events. You've got a voice recorder, usual voice command here. Samsung's video player, which works about the same as the Gallery video player. We've also got Photo Editor, Samsung's Task Manager, and Keys Air for syncing over Wi-Fi using Media Transport Protocol. The Galaxy S2 is certainly a fast phone, and we're going to check out some gaming here with the Asphalt 6 that's bundled. Cannot run NVIDIA Tegra 2 zone games, obviously because this does not have a Tegra 2 CPU. Here we are on the Asphalt 6 splash screen. You can see how certainly vividly colorful and bright that Super AMOLED Plus display is. Obviously a big selling point for the phone. Wow, those colors are amazing.
Straightforward, fun, and smells like burning rubber.
certainly plays very smoothly. Accelerometer control is a little bit twitchy compared to some phones, but it's also a big phone to be moving around, so you're getting that pivot thing happening. Yeah, it's capable of playing games, no problem. And how about video playback? We're going to test something that's generally speaking too challenging for most phones, and this is 1080p high profile video. Just like the Amaze, it has absolutely no problem with that. Now 1080p high profile, well, there's not much point watching that on a screen that's much smaller, but this does support HDMI out via MHL adapter. It's an optional adapter. That gives you a full-size HDMI port. And here we are almost at maximum volume. Pretty darn loud. So score 1 for multimedia. How about streaming? We're going to check out T-Mobile TV HD, the $13 a month service that has on-demand and live broadcast TV. And we'll check out whatever is playing on ABC right now. Just like Netflix, this takes a little bit to buffer up. Usually it's a little blocky for the first 20 seconds and it gets clear. Well, that looks pretty sharp right away.
I wanted to be a boy.
Wow, that's something else.
Yeah, dressed in my dad's clothes. I used to go into his closet and close the door and put on his clothes.
So there you go, that's T-Mobile TV. Very capable multimedia and gaming phone, also likewise capable for web browsing. And it's telling me that we can use tilt here to reduce and enlarge the screen. If you put two fingers on the display and you tilt it, you can do that. And you notice there's a separate browser brightness setting. Samsung does that with their phones, unlike most. And there's also a separate brightness control for the gallery movie player. So we'll bring that back up. And we'll check out our website. And you can see we've got the swipe keyboard here. You can also use the default Android keyboard. And we're doing this over T-Mobile's HSPA Plus network, and we do have the 42 upgraded network here. So this is pretty fast. This is just about Wi-Fi fast. Scrolls smoothly. Handling flash ads no problem. Pinch zooming. Very capable. And now we'll check out Adobe Flash video playback using the web browser rather than the mobile flash player. And we'll check out our video review of the Galaxy S2 on AT&T. And after a little buffering up, there it is. And we'll try to pop it out to full screen. This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Samsung Galaxy. Here you go,
S2.
no problem, and the Adobe Flash Player controls are usable. Small, but usable. Galaxy S2, all of them have an 8 megapixel autofocus main rear camera in addition to the front video shot camera, and they take very good pictures, especially in middling to low light indoor shots. Wow, very good colors and sharpness, and it can shoot 1080p video that's pretty darn smooth at 30 fps. So here we're looking at the camera interface right now, and it looks pretty simple, but you can hit settings and check out some other things you can do. Self-portrait mode, obviously using the front. Control your flash, shooting mode, single shot, smile shot, beauty shot, which has to be something like a portrait shot, panorama, action shot, cartoon. Scene mode, we've got portrait, landscape, night, sports, party, indoor, beach, sunset, dawn, fall colors, fireworks, shooting pictures of text. There's a setting for that. There's also a self-timer, and you can change the resolution as well. And if you want to switch between camera and video mode, just swipe right there, and you can turn the flash on and off. Again, there's a timer mode. You've got flash control, recording mode, which is set to normal right now. You can limit it for SMS or do a self-recording. Set your exposure. White balance, video quality, currently set to superfine. There you go. If we switch back to camera mode, you can see how quick the focus is. You can also move the focus point around using your finger. And then, very fast shoot and focus with the Galaxy S2 cameras. The phone has Wi-Fi, 802.11bgn, Bluetooth, and a GPS. GPS worked just fine in our tests with quick fixes, no problems there. Phone's available October 12th. It's going to cost $229 with a 2-year contract after rebates. That's a bit higher than the usual $199 for a super phone on a carrier. But then again, it's $30 cheaper than the HTC Amaze. Now, we don't recommend that you pick your phone for only a $30 price difference or a $20 price difference, because you have to live with it for 2 years, and your contract costs are typically much, much higher than what you're paying for the phone on contract. But it is a hard choice between this and the Amaze, and you're going to have to watch our Smackdown to see which one you might want to prefer. But this is certainly a very capable high-end phone on T-Mobile, and it's worth $229. The off-contract price is under $600, so for those of you who want to do an upgrade before your contract time is up, keep that in mind. Now, if you get this phone, you'll likely not be disappointed. It's got a fantastic camera, very bright display. We would like to see higher resolution on this. The only folks who might have some problem with this is folks with smaller hands and smaller pockets, because it's obviously a fairly large phone. It's fast. Battery life is decent for a phone with these kind of capabilities. An HSPA 42, if you're in an area that has good T-Mobile coverage, a major city where they've been doing upgrades, you're going to love the download speeds. And this does have the mobile hotspot feature too, so you can connect up to 5 clients to this and use this as a Wi-Fi mobile hotspot. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Visit our website for the full review.